Sidewalk is and the edge of the curb in relationship to where we'd have to put a ramp. Pausing and recording her at the same time. Well, let's go up the steps, bud. Do you want to go in the basement and come up and open that door for me?
Alrighty.
I'll walk right in that door up these steps as somebody was using the building. Oh, the basement's open. Now there's some spots there where the tuck pointing has come back out again on the front of the building. Whatever. Yeah, I'm going to step back while I'm waiting and take a shot here on the sidewalk looking north as to where we would have to position a ramp on the building if we so desired versus an elevator. No, just the one's good. This spot here in the corner was one area that was considered back in 1990 and 91 as where we might possibly locate an elevator if we decided to go that route. But now we'll walk up the steps. These steps were replaced about 8 years ago. The original steps were concrete. And I stumbled and fell and looked through this camera. And we see how the light changes, and this enters into the upper area of the town hall. You either go left or right into the right one here is the ante room, which we're going to take a pause here for a minute and go up into the attic and look at the electrical and some of the stuff that's up there. We brought an extension cord. As we look in this ante room, taking us through vents, there's one electrical outlet there, and then nothing else. This goes into the main part of the upstairs, which was remodeled, and the ceiling dropped in it here. Oh, I'm guessing 12, 13 years ago. I think I got it written up in our grant application as to about the exact time. When we did this, we did put in wall plugs here and shut off all the windows and replace 2 of the old steel frame windows, which are still evident in the front of the building, with casement windows, just 2 on each side. Looking towards the stage area, those 2 doors up the steps would be the rear safety exits. That left side is the one that's lighted for the public, as well as stepping out into the middle of the room, turning back. We have this one lighted as far as an emergency exit from the upstairs. Of course, this door on the right that goes into another small ante room. Those doors there are wide enough for barrier free. We're not sure about this door or the entrance that comes in there, which neither here nor there now anyway. Back into the ante room on the north side of the northeast corner of the building. You see now we've opened the doors, and this is a narrow stairwell. Bud, you want to bring that lamp right over right next to the camera, and we'll kind of shine it up, and I'll walk up, and I don't fall on my yin-yang here. And I hard to hold this flood lamp and make it up this narrow stairway. My shoulders are touching the walls on both sides as I go up this. Of course, I'm not a small guy. Now here is the upstairs, very upper attic. There's a closed off window here, and then as you will note in our electrical build-up, this is where the electrical stuff enters into the building and is transferred elsewhere. Wonder we haven't lost this place to fire. I'll get right up close so you can have the benefit of what kind of mess that we're faced with here as far as any electrical. Also, we had the building re-roofed. There's a portion of the actual exposed roof boards in the front part of the building on the east end of it. And the contractor at that time replaced about 25% of the boards that were all dry rotted. And I just spoke with him this morning, being the 14th of April, and it's his opinion, and also the ones from the architects from 1991, that the whole roof would have to be torn off of this building. Bud, can you open that door there? While he's doing that, into there, this is at the old original ceiling height, and you can still see evident we left in the old type of round light fixtures that were used for many years in schools and whatever. We just put this drop ceiling in and insulated above it at that time. So right above my head here, the Celotex is the real original height of the ceiling from downstairs. And then, yeah, if you want to hold the light, I can maybe crawl up in the attic here a little. I don't know how much we'll be able to get on camera. There's some old insulation here. Well, here, just hand me the light and I can shove it in here. But you can even note right here, right in front of the door, I'll zoom in a little bit. There's some evidence of boards that should have been replaced when we had it re-roofed that we didn't. It's evident all up and down this whole roof in this building that the dry rot over the years from the old composition shingles that were here would require that that whole roof be repaired. So I'm going to take a pause here, and then we'll go back downstairs. Okay, I'm back from the attic tour there now. And we'll walk up on the stage area to the one lighted exit and the one panic door that we did have installed. Of course, this would be entirely prohibited from the standpoint of handicap, but when you walk out, this is what you see. A landing with about a 4-inch step down, and then about a 4x4 landing. We're about, I would guess, 16 feet in the air here. And here's the angle of the stairwell going down. And then you can see on the other side the stairwell that goes up to the door on the right-hand side of the building as you're looking west. So this is kind of the, and I'll take some exterior shots from the ground on this when we get done here. Okay, here we are back upstairs. We're looking south as you come in the front doors of the town hall. And this is the only interior passageway to the basement from the upper level. Let me get my strap out of the way. So we go down here about 5 steps and make a little turn and then continue on down here to the basement door, which is deceiving because the last step of the stairwell is the bottom of the door, and there's still one more step down to the basement floor. And this is the basement. May as well walk across here. This is the only office that's in the building at this time. Happens to be my office for Supervisor and Assessor. Speaking on some of the electrical, as long as I'm in here, these original wall plugs, this was a kitchen at the time the Eastern Stars were in this building. And the wiring came out of that box up there, which was the old paper and cord wrapped silver electrical wire, which had just a neutral wire in it and a hot wire. We had to add that box for the grounded system for the computers and the copy machine and the postage meter. Prior to getting that done, we had to run our own ground wire. Tuscarora Hall. Yeah, John. Well, good. You're being on videotape right now while I'm videotaping this office to go to Lansing. So anyway, you calling about our meeting the other day? Oh, okay. Let me shut this thing off and I'll be back in the record session. Prior to putting in the little electrical sub panel there, I run a green wire from one plug to ground it for the safety of our computer systems up over in stuck it into that little electrical box up there. And like I said earlier, we had the electrician come in and put a little 2-circuit breaker panel in there, which took care of all of our electrical needs for the safety portion for our equipment here in the office. So now we'll go out of my office. This room currently is a room that we use for township board meetings, and whatever else use may come along for it. As you note, we do have hot water baseboard heat on the bottom, but the whole length of this wall that I'm shooting down here has no electrical. There's no electrical in this back wall. There is one plug on the outside of the office wall opposite where my computer is in that room. There is no electrical along that wall. There are 2 plugs in that wall, right here and there, which were put in when we had the bathroom remodeled back in the mid-70s. We had no restroom facilities other than a little stool. And we have this changed as a stool you're looking at here. This originally was like the left-hand side of the building. You went in and turned to the left this way, and there was a little toilet in where the water pump is, but this was the symmetrical exit out the back of the building. Where that stool was used to be steps, and there used to be a door there. And then we have a stool there and a urinal over here on this side. And then as I turn around, you'll be able to note that there's we had put in 2 lavatories here in this, against this wall. And then as we continue across the back of the town hall here, this is a rear lighted exit, which once again is not handicapped. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps up to the door. This room was added when we did the bathrooms. This used to be the coal room for the coal furnace that was here back after they built the building. And right in that door is a hot water furnace that heats the building now. And we have a kitchen there for making coffee. We go up the steps to the door. And this door here is underneath the same platform here up above that you saw me earlier standing on and looking down the stairwell for the exit out of the back end of the town hall. This is the part of the backyard of our property that we own. Our property line goes up north to the edge of that garage, and then this is of course a back view of the town hall with the panic door up there, a regular door on that side, and the 2 stair steps out of the building. This is a back view of the police department that was the original fire hall. There in the center was nothing more than grass and dirt until the late 50s. The fire department got permission to put a roof between their wall and the town hall wall and put a cement floor in and a garage door, which made the another long narrow bay for another fire truck that they had acquired. So I'm going to pause this here for a minute till I get back to show some other footage here. I'm back in the basement part of the building going east. This little ante room here, the one to the left, it's locked, I don't have my key. Both doors open here. This is going east out of the building, and I'll go up the steps back outside in a moment. But this little ante room here, which is a room about 12 by 14, this used to be where the township board held their meetings for up until about the 1950s. They only met once every 3 months and that's now currently used for record storage and assessor items and related stuff. And then directly across from it here is the room where we've had numerous problems with water leakage. Over here in this corner was where we had a number of the old record books of the township from the highway commissioners or whatever that were destroyed and mildewed over the years. This room currently is used just to store 3 voting machines here, and so that kind of covers these 2 rooms at this place here. As we go on out, this is the main entrance. Would point out that this whole floor level I've been walking on, up the back step. Of course, we saw the steps up out there. There's a step up here to a landing, and one of the things we discussed back in 1991 on elevators was the fact that if we did elevator into this building, we would come to this step, which would be ramped down to where I am standing, and then another ramp down into here. To the right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps that go out the building here, and this is the most active entrance of the stuff to the town hall, which you can turn around and see where I started from originally, going up the steps there or down the basement this way. From the front of the building, when the fire department moved out in, I think, around 1978, once again that date is confirmed in the grant application report, we remodeled the front of this building and the inside and made it the police headquarters, and that's what it's being used up till the 30th day of April, along with the same date for closure of the town hall. Once again, looking here at the down in the basement, there is a report in there whether or not the building is engineered structurally for today's loads for upstairs. I'm looking at the ceiling and trying to identify. There they are right there. The self-focusing camera comes in there. You can see these spots across here. This is evident all over the ceiling of this basement. Those are nails that over the years have been popping the sprayed on matrix that we put on when we had the new light ceiling fixtures put in this area a number of years ago to replace the old incandescent bulbs that were up there. But there is areas all over here in the basement. Over at the end of this one, you'll see where more of the nails, some of them, from time to time, we pound them back up with a hammer. Then, before I get out of the building here, back in the Supervisor Assessor's office, it also is used by the board members for the copy machine and the postage meter. The only heat source into this building is this little fan that pulls air in from the main part of the basement. When we had the heat put in, this was still a kitchen, and we had no heat ducts in here. So consequently, this whole floor space in this building is paid to heat for just the purposes of my being in this office on a daily basis. Why not
open this door?
Yeah, open that doorway over there that goes up, and I'll get a shot. I talked about it on tape. With the step and the deceiving part of the bottom of that door. The bottom of the door closes against the first, at the first step at the top, which makes it a little deceiving. People come down to that step and they open the door and they think they're going to walk into without another step down. And we've had several occasions of people stumbling on there. Okay, then also we probably had as many, or if not more, people spilled down to the floor at this level right here. The election in 1990 and 1988, the same person fell each one of those years walking into that level we see there, and with bright lights outside and not too good a light in here, they think they're on the main floor here. And also I'm going to go outside now and do a little more shooting on the tuck pointing on the south side of the building. Hey, we're outside. We're looking at the south elevation of the building, and I'll zoom in here a little bit. At this south wall, probably because of sunlight and whatever over the years, is in the worst condition of anything regarding the exterior. It's raining right now here, and raining for the last 2 days, so we might have a little water spots on these limbs, but I wanted to at least get a shot of this one being the worst part of the exterior of the present building. And then also I just wanted to show here the back wall of the police station, this being the southwest corner. You can see the patchwork that's been done over years. The foundation in the back of this building keeps settling into the ground, and you can see how much the cracks up there is almost 3/4 of an inch as it is right now. And as we go down the side of this building up to the front, it's even worse. See here where over the years we've done some patchwork and whatever, and right here we've got the same problem again up to this window, and then the crack continues on up to the front of the building, which has got the same problem as the back, that the foundations probably were not real adequate when they built this building, and consequently the front and back are tipping away from the building. For a little change of scenery, I'm on the south end of Burt Lake here in Tuscarora Township at a site that was nominated and placed into the register a couple years ago. Last August I had the honors as a township supervisor of dedicating the monument here. This home has belonged to a Lansing attorney by the name of Roland Reed, who I've personally known since 1953, as they purchased this old home here the same year that I moved to Indian River with my parents. If we kind of look down the neighboring homes to the west, without walking and taking much time, all the homes in here are pretty much of the same type of architecture that is evident in the Brisbane home here. If I'm walking around here on the west side of the home, see one of Mr. Reed's winter screens with plastic has fallen off the house. He hasn't been up here yet this year. He has offices in the Davenport building in Lansing at the top floor. And here's the monument that was erected last year, and we had a small dedication party over here for this event. Looking into the light, maybe we're going to the other side and have a better look at this monument that the History Division had provided. Peter L. Brisbane house, and of course, and down at the bottom the recognition from the Bureau of History. So those of you that may have been involved with this dedication of this property, you can see that the obligation has been fulfilled. I will show just a little bit of the neighborhood to the east, which is rather interesting. Okay, we're at the place next to Mr. Reed's to the east. It speaks on that sign about the Argonaut Club. This is the old Argonaut Club building, which back in 1991 had belonged to the Knights of Pythias, a Michigan organization. And they sold this building with all their lake frontage here to private owners. Once again, a view of the lake. The club itself has been put into a concept such as condominiums. About 20 different people own it. And then I'll walk over next door on one of the parcels that was vacant, that had restrictions in it as to architecture, and show you a new home that was built here just 2 years ago. Okay, we're looking east here on property that's now owned by a gentleman by the name of Monty Black. The Argonaut property originally went over there to the tree line, but this is the home that was just built here 2 winters ago. And it was the requirement of the sellers and the deeds that any homes built on these properties maintained the same type of architect structure that was prevalent in the neighborhood at the time that the Argonaut Glen Club and the Brisbane home were built. So this gives you a little idea of something that's happened here in our township that we're very proud of.